Okay, today we're looking at the contacts control. So this is a really cool control. What it allows you to do is save and retrieve information based on the caller ID of the person who is calling. So you can automatically save a caller under your contacts tab, which is here, and by default the contacts control will save the phone number, and if it's available it'll save the name of the caller ID. So in order to save the name of that caller ID on the answer call control that your call is flowing through, you need to click the enable CNAM lookup. So this way, by default, if you have autosave contacts checked on the contacts control, will automatically save the number and the name of whoever's calling. So the other piece to this is it also, not only does it save the information, it also loads information about a caller that can be used later in our call flow. So it loads the information into the dynamic variables. So let me just show you a quick example of this. So let's say we have a number of people who've called in, and now now what we can do is actually tag a person with various information. So that person, I'll show this as an example. So add tag value. I'm going to say notes. You have a late payment, and I'll save that tag. So what this means is if this particular contact, that was this person, calls in now, within the call flow, there's automatically a dynamic variable called notes that's set to you have a late payment. So the contacts control will load that information. Then we can use that later on, for example, in the menu control, and you can say, hi, and then we'll just say, just wanted to let you know, and then you can use the dynamic control variable to you can use the dynamic, you can output the dynamic variable using this syntax that we use to output the dynamic variable. So now when this particular person calls in, who is that, Chandra, calls in, it'll say, hi, just wanted to let you know you have a late payment. And so the notes might be different, based on whatever the tag is set. The other thing you can do is you could use the contact control along with the decision control, and you could do something like if, and then we'll say, let's say we have a note called sales rep. So this we'll associate a contact with a tag called sales rep, and we might have 3 or 4 different sales reps. So Bill is handling this particular contact, and this way we can now use the decision control, and we'll say if sales rep equals, we'll say Bill. We might do something like dial Bill's phone. So that's just an example of something we might do. And then the other thing you can do is if you have multiple, we'll say, okay, that's not true. And we'll say, okay, if the sales rep equals, Sarah, then we can dial Sarah's phone. And then you can just continue down the flow like that until the call gets sent to the appropriate person. So that's just an example of how you can use the contact control. So the one other piece to this is you can also dynamically add tags as soon as the call comes in. So for example, you might just want to do something like create a tag associated with the person called state, and then you can automatically say set the from state. So that's just an example of how you could do that. So that's the basics of the contacts control. Thanks.